I remember, I can never forget. You talked to me very weak voice, and you said, "I don't think I can make it. I don't think I'm going to make it." Hey, I said what? I said, no, I jumped at the doctors, the nurses. There were like 100 doctors and nurses in that place. I was like, you guys have to do something. This has gone beyond. Don't be silly. Like people say, can't don't be silly. And they were still fucking around. Like, I honestly felt if things had played out differently, I'll probably be in an American jail to today. Because I was going to hit someone in that room. They were acting so nonchalant and unaffected by what you are going through. And I couldn't understand it.
No, they have babies every day.
That's not my business. They should show care.
That's what babies every day. And I think because his heart rate was stable, they were...
But you were weak.
Yeah,
you were struggling. And they were fucking around. I wasn't having it. Hi everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Brunch and Banter.
Brunch and Banter.
As you see, it's just yeah, which is great. Every time we recorded, just you and I have had fun.
I know.
We always have to have guests. Guests are welcome.
I always have fun with you, baby.
Please bump over. You put a stiffy handshake.
I do.
Can you still do it?
Yes.
Let's try.
Why would I shake you? I guess.
Okay, remember.
Muscle memory. I use my level, man.
I don't know where that phrase came from.
I'll tell you the joke later. Let's introduce people.
I'm co-host Chimizie, sous chef, griller, my designation is official griller of the podcast. Welcome guys, and I have my beautiful co-host.
My name is Idleman.
As usual.
I make all the food with some assistance from Chimizie. My suffering sous chef, aka husband.
Why not my husband?
My husband.
You can see that.
You know you're my husband friend. You know my bad. Okay. But it's okay. It's the excitement. So yeah, we are hosting Brunch and Banter. Guys, it's not just us eating this food. There are still people in this house. I just don't want to
even if it's all this
that we're enjoying like. Well, true, but still, it's still like, why did they have all this food in front of them? Oh my God. We are not this greedy, okay? But yeah, what do we have on the table today? And let's talk about the food. We have this like bell pepper, mozzarella, salad. You like it? I've never made it before. I saw the recipe and I'm like, I'm going to try it. Me too, actually, but like eat cheese with like burgers and pizza. Yeah, so when you like it, it's got balsamic vinegar. It's really nice. I'm sure you like it. And then we have pasta and this like meat sauce. I don't know what it's called. I just had meat in it and I just made it up. I'm not gonna lie. And then I have like a spicy garlic cumin rice. And then we have different grills, which I just marinate a bunch of meat and gave it to Chimizie to grill, and he did a good job grilling it.
Exactly.
The suya, which he brought to them. So we did homemade suya. Guys, if you're not Nigerian, suya is this like meat on a stick that's coated in this spicy spice.
Spicy spice.
And yeah, and Chimizie grilled it. And then I don't know what happened, but I don't know. It tastes like suya.
The fire was too hot.
Yeah.
And when you look at these guys who sell suya, you think, okay, this thing
looks easy.
But there's a single skill that goes because on suya. You know, I think that should have cooked it in oil.
Okay, that would have added more to the fire because the oil would have dripped into the fire and maybe been a little bit. Anyway, I ended up finishing the suya in the oven and I think it's okay.
It's suya.
Yeah, it's suya. So yeah. So we are gonna dig in and have a fun. Oh, that's like a berry medley with some pomegranate and kiwi.
Okay.
So yeah, we are gonna have some fun brunch and banter.
Like I
We're
always
super hungry. Like I don't never eat. Yes. Can I have some water?
Let's try my sweets.
Thank you. So we are digging in. No, it's okay.
The drinks, what's in the drinks?
Oh, we have like a gin and Sprite mix over there. This is some Moscato wine, and then it's just cola.
Cola. No problems. I am famished.
Yeah, me too, me too. Cool, so at the beginning we can start just telling you guys about all the happenings that are happening.
What's happening? Yeah.
I don't know.
Today is Mother's Day. International Mother's Day. Not in the UK and Ireland.
Really? Because I'm like, we don't know.
Happy International Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And, you know, I always say that a mother is someone that cares for people. So
even if
even if you don't have a biological child, as long as you have people in your life, children that you care for, you love and cater to, you are a mother as well.
Can you be a mother to an adult?
Yes, you can be a mother to an adult, absolutely. There are many adults that need full-time care, support, round the clock care. So yeah, you can be a mother. So it's not easy. It's not easy being a mother. Or in many cases, also being a father.
Let me ask you. I don't think I've asked you this question before.
Okay.
The first time you held Nato.
Nato is our first son. Yeah.
The first time you held Nato, what was the first feeling that you felt?
I don't know. I was too exhausted to feel anything. I don't know if we talked about just Nato's birthing experience on the podcast before. I don't want to keep it light, so I don't get it started, but I can. But I think at the point where I first held him, it was just pure exhaustion. So I didn't really have time.
I can take that. It was
a hectic birth. So I didn't really have time to sit in the feelings or process it. It was maybe much later that I now realized that, oh my God, I have a baby. And then it was a very emotional time. Like all the feelings just took over me. And guys, I think it's about maybe what we're talking about. Do you want to share just Nato's birthing experience?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can talk a little bit about that. So, I had to be induced when I carried the baby to full term, so I had to be induced because he was late, he was really big, he was huge. He was huge. Nato was born at 4.1 kg, so it was a big baby. And he wasn't coming out, so they were like, oh, we have to induce him. So they induced me with the first type of drug.
And this has been in hospital for 2 days.
No, we went into the hospital, remember, to be induced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he wasn't coming out. So they induced me first. The first drug, it didn't work. They did it again. And so I was basically trying to be labor for like...
It was a long time.
It was like we're laboring for 2 days.
Yeah.
Before I became 10 centimeters. They were like, push. The whole process was just exhausting. At some point, after I'd been pushing, because I had it in my head that I must give birth vaginally, and I didn't want to have a C-section. I don't know, there's something, and I don't know where I got that idea. There's something that happens to women when they get pregnant, and then it's like, you don't have sense.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
like I became
because it's not logical for me.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how the child comes out. The child comes out safely.
It really doesn't.
For both the mother and child.
Yeah, that was all that. It was so loud. I have even told my doctor, no way I'm having a C-section, God forbid. I must give birth vaginally.
Oh, sorry, didn't we make provision for C-section?
No, we didn't. We were, in fact, the birthing plan was vaginal birth, even though the doctor was trying to tell me that this baby is a big boy. You might need to be. I'm like, I'm going to push him out. I'm not having a C-section. I'm not. I didn't really understand what I was trying to prove because nobody sent me message. But I was so determined. And even when they were like push and I was screaming and it was hard, I was just like really determined to push the baby out. And then at some point, I just couldn't do it. And I looked to Chile, and the Chile was by my side and they were like, push. I was like, I think this is a bit like, I can't do this anymore. I think I was basically trying to say goodbye. I can't remember my exact words. Do you remember?
I remember. I can never forget. You talked to me very weak voice, and you said, "I don't think I can make it. I don't think I'm going to lift it." Hey, I said what? I said no. I jumped at the doctors, the nurses. There were like 100 doctors and nurses in that place. I was like, you guys have to do something this has gone beyond don't be silly. Like people say, can't don't be silly. And they were still fucking around. Like I honestly felt if things had played out differently, I'll probably be in an American jail to today. Because I was going to hit someone in that room. They were acting so nonchalant and unaffected by what you are going through. And I couldn't understand it.
No, they have babies every day.
That's not my business. They should show care.
That's what babies every day. And I think because his heart rate was stable, they were...
But you were weak.
Yeah,
you were struggling. And they were fucking around. I wasn't having it. It wasn't until the doctor, I don't know if I should call her name, but that doctor...
No.
She was really great. So even time when we spoke for antenatal, she was really great. I used to study her. So she had very precise movements. You know how somebody wants to do something.
Yeah.
But it looks like the person, your coordination isn't 100%.
Yeah.
But she was very efficient in her movements, no wasted effort. So I don't know where she was. Maybe she was playing Zuma.
Yeah,
maybe she was playing Candy Crush.
Yeah.
And then she just waltzed in, looks at you, looks at the situation and says, "Prepare for the theater, but do C-section," and walks out again. Yeah. And then everybody starts.
And like even then, I was like, "No, I don't want a C-section." She was like, "Look."
Me, I was blowing.
She said, "She was like, look, you've been at this for hours. He's not coming out. We have to get him out. It's not also good for you that he's been in there for so long and it's really big. And I can see that you're struggling. We're gonna get him out." So she didn't just say prepare for C-section and walk. She actually explained to me why she was insisting because she knew I didn't want to. I stupidly was refusing to have a C-section. So she took the decision. It was stupid. She even took the decision away from me, and then immediately the decision was made. They just started throwing forms at you. Sign. They threw like this overall at you. Wait,
they didn't come to me. They literally
throwing stuff at him. And then it just became really emotional. I'm trying not to start crying. It just became really emotional. I remember they just started prepping me and then pushing me out. They're like, because we were having a baby in the US and we're paying cash. They're like, go down to the place. Okay. And it was just weird. No, it was not even them. It was the medical facilitator that was like, go and pay. And then they were pushing me out. And I was like, wait a minute. I now saw that they had collapsed. Like, it was just a lot for you. Like, you just broke.
I'm not actually sick.
You just broke down in tears. But like, I don't know what's happening. It was so emotional. And then I became emotional. I was like, what's wrong? I was trying to do. And then I started crying. It was so, like, I'm really struggling to hold back here. And then I just found myself in a theater. And that was the first time in my life I never had an operation. So, and that was the first time in my life I never seen an operating room. So I was like, oh my God, this was exactly like Grey's Anatomy.
I never got to see your picture.
I remember that, but you know, it was literally he couldn't do it. So he couldn't come in with me, and then it was like our medical facilitator who was busted, who came in to the theater with me, and then
I think
they cut me open. They took out Nato, and then she took a picture of Nato and then showed me Nato. I was like, oh, that's my baby. And then they took the baby away. They never actually brought him to me. They just took him away. And then they were trying to close me up, and then I started shaking on the operating table. Like, I just started convulsing. And then they were like, put her out, put her under, put her under. And then I think they knocked me out. I didn't remember anything else until I was coming, they're bringing me back into the room. I remember like I was outside of my body. And I'm not saying this as a spiritual thing. Like I saw myself in the room. I saw the room. I saw you. I saw Mama B, who's my mom, and I saw Adaobi, who's your sister. And I remember being outside with myself, and I remember shaking on the bed, like my body was just convulsing. And you now started screaming. I don't even know. I think you noticed I was shaking.
So when you came, you were not shaking.
Yeah.
And then I was still like trying to talk to you and stuff. And then after a few minutes, you started to convulse, and it was really violent shaking. And I talked to the doctor, the nurses, and I was like, she's shaking, do something. And they were actually going back. And they said, it's okay, it's a normal reaction. It's like, what? I want to fly that bus and rip her head out. And they just moved their face and looked away. I was so angry. I don't know if it was me that told me to calm down or something. I was ready to be physically violent to somebody because I couldn't understand the nonchalant. I thought I was losing you. And then they were being nonchalant about it. I couldn't reconcile. I was so angry, but we thank God that.
And eventually, of course, I woke up, and that was when. No, even at that time when I woke up and they brought me to me and I held it, I was still so groggy and exhausted.
Yeah.
The feeling of motherhood didn't register. And at that point, I wasn't even myself. It was now like that later that evening or the next morning, I now held him and now registered. Oh, this is
so at that point, what did you feel?
I was excited that he was okay because it was a stressful birthing experience. I was trying to determine who he looked like. I was like, why don't you look like me? Why don't you look like your dad? Where did you come from? Because he just
you want that one?
Yeah, he looks like me now. He just looks not what I expected. I was like, he looks so I was just like, who do you look like? And then I was also amazed that he was a person. So there was a mix of utter amazement and just
the soft baby body
relief and everything, and then he smelled so good. So there was all of that feeling of.
But even post birth, it was still very difficult.
Yeah.
For the next 3-4 days or so.
Yeah.
You know, where they said that they suspected he had gestational diabetes.
No, I had gestational diabetes.
Was it you?
Yes. So they said they needed to keep his blood sugar up. So they took him to the NICU so they could feed him.
NICU? Was how much? 1 time a day, Abby? 2
It was $3,000 a day.
Hey!
$3,000.
In life.
and then we were paying cash because we haven't in the US. We're not using insurance. We have to pay cash for everything.
Lie in the lie.
Yeah. So
we've told the story before. What is safe again?
Yeah.
When they discharged you finally, I knew I was on the couch with you every day. Yeah. You were on the bed, I was on the couch because they didn't want me in the room.
Yeah.
Helping you at night to go to the bathroom because you're too weak to walk by yourself. And then the day they discharged you, they said that Nito had to stay in, and you are not having it.
Yeah.
They told you whether you shout from morning till night, it's not that.
It's not even this NICU.
That they had to make sure that it's okay to go home.
Yeah.
Hey, then I said, okay, what can we do now? So I think they discharged us around 3 o'clock or so, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the flat we were staying in was maybe 35-40 minutes from the hospital.
Yeah.
By car. So when they discharged you, we got into the car I'm tired, you're tired, everybody's tired.
Everybody was tired.
I drive that 30 minutes home. We get home. I'm saying, okay, thank you, God. Let me lie down, close my eyes, and sleep. Make sure you're okay, you are settled, you are comfortable. Make sure you are comfortable. I said, okay, let me sleep. Eh? You know when you're so exhausted, and as soon as your head touches the pillow, you're out like a light.
Yeah.
I was sleeping. I had barely slept for 1 minute, 1 second. When I opened my eyes. I couldn't see it, but I could feel that my eyes were red. My eyes were bloodshot. I'm like, what happened? Are you okay? Are you okay? She said that, you know, looked at me and said that your heart can't take it, that you have to see me. It's not that you actually have to.
Yeah.
I was like, please now. Let's go in the morning. I can stay all day. Let's just, it's okay. He said, no, that even if you have to walk back to the hospital, you're going to see me that night. Hey! I said, God! What? And I said, okay. With my red eyes, we now got into the car. You back another 30 minutes. Got to the hospital. You insisted that you must see your son. And you're not leaving until you see him.
Yeah.
They now said, okay, go and see your son.
Because I hated leaving the hospital without him. And when I got home, I was like, no, this doesn't feel right. I'm supposed to come back with a baby. And that's why I couldn't sit in that flat without my baby. I was like, no, this is not the plan. And that's why I had to drag you back. I'm sorry. I know you were so tired. I was so tired.
I was really tired. I don't know how I managed to drive back.
It was like a 45-minute drive. I was just like...
And the problem is, when we get back, it was 5 minutes to close it.
Yeah, so I really literally spent just 5 minutes with him before they kicked us out. And
he looked so frail in the...
No, he wasn't big baby.
No, like when you put him in that incubator, it's different. Yeah. You know. And then the next morning,
he did stay there
by 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm also I'm still at the hospital.
I went back to the hospital and I told them, I was like, I'm taking my kid home today. There's nothing wrong with him. Like, if they say to feed him, we'll feed him. And then, and then we went. And now he's turning 7 in a few weeks. It's been an incredible journey.
But by Kathy's bed, that experience.
Yeah. By Kathy's bed, I was like, what are you scheduling my C-section? Please. No story.
I was in the bed, I didn't faint. I didn't do anything. I was like,
by then, you had been used to the drama. But it was an easy experience because we're really clear now. We're going to have a C-section. It's fine.
Even though I know that when you told me that your water had broken for carrying, I was like calling some parents.
Yeah.
And he told me, I think I was buying, I was in frozen.
Yeah, I was at home and then my water broke and you were out and I just had to call you because we had planned the C-section 10 days after.
Mm-hmm.
So he came and when the water broke, I was like, you're not supposed to be here. And then, of course, we had to rush into the hospital and immediately I think there was something about having a C-section the first time that they just were like, if you've had a C-section once, you kind of have to have a C-section again.
I think I've heard that as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the boys are here, they're healthy, we thank God.
But what has motherhood been like?
It's been interesting. I think we should warm our food as we talk about it.
Ladies first.
Yes, thank you. So everybody's motherhood journey is different, and for me, I would say something shifted when I became a mom because all the things that I thought were important turned out not that important. It just became about making the kids okay and ensuring that they're okay.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that is most important for me, and it's not, I don't feel like I missed out on it, it's just making sure that the kids are okay. That's the most important thing. Anything that tries to threaten that doesn't register. So I'm just like a die-hard mama bear. Like, my boys are okay.
How about among the boys?
No, you're a grown man. Like you're okay regardless. These are little boys. I'm talking about the little boys. So for me, it's just making sure they're okay. That's my thing. They need to be okay. They need to be good people.
Very
They
important.
need to be able to stand on their own. So there's a lot. There's a lot that is different.
And I tell you, the me that you're seeing, there was no, in my life arc, there was no version of this. I didn't see this version of me like 20 years ago. You know,
Make sure I didn't.
I was carefree,
Even 10 years ago, I didn't
living my best life.
10 years ago, not to 20 years ago.
I didn't know that I had the ability to be this version of me.
And what version is that?
Like you said, being hands-on, you know,
Like
doing
the parents'
school runs,
version.
parents' version,
Yeah.
doing school runs, putting them to sleep at night, playing with them, you know. And I think that if you look at most fathers when we were growing up, they were not like
But
this.
then we move. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's patriarchal, but they were just provide discipline and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, even though there were sporadic moments where, you know, your dad would play with you or gist with you or do something that is memorable, it wasn't an everyday affair.
Yeah.
Like, I know that my dad bonded all of us in car, take us to Lagos Country Club then to go and swim. When we finish, we'll play squash. When we finish, go to the pool. We'll eat suya, drink liquor, go sports, you know, and then go back home. So those were memories that I can remember, you know, but I didn't see myself being this. I didn't see this version of myself, you know. Maybe, yeah, you're right. 10 years ago, I didn't see the version of myself. But it's been a journey, you know. But I'm of the strong opinion that parents, there needs to be some structured marriage and parenting, mentorship, training, something.
Why?
Because I feel like most people are thrown into parenting and marriage without proper preparation. And then that leads to mistakes that can be avoided. You know? So
Okay, you're not on camera. No, you need to come on camera so people can see where this.
I get my voice now. I'm trying to hold my phone, did it? Give me a second.
Okay.
So let me just pull out this phone. Does it have some piping house? So I say this because on social media last week, I think there was this really trending story about this guy who lived in the UK, proposed to his girlfriend, married her, brought her over, bought her a car, paid for her tuition, and the story has it is not confirmed, I don't know if it's true or not, that she started cheating on him and he caught her sleeping with somebody else in their matrimonial home. You know, and you will hear stories like this. There's just something about, and of course, there are many good stories, you know, like you and I. You know, I'll consider us by any metric a success story.
Like superstar. What?
You know, and we know that bad news gets amplified. You know, but there's a disturbing volume of bad stories or marriages, like people who emigrate from Nigeria to the West within 6 months, a year, somebody starts to misbehave, both parties break up. Sometimes the jilted party now goes a step further to try and get all of them deported back to Nigeria. You know, and then parenting, we kind of figure things out ourselves. You know, so your parents might tell typically your mom might tell you, okay, do this, do that. But I don't think it's enough. We have to figure out a lot of things ourselves. You know, we're not really prepared. So there are a number of situations that occurred that were novel to us. We had to dig deep to find solutions to them. It would have been easier if our parents who had passed through these things had said, here's what you can expect in month 1, month 6, month 12, so that when they come up, they don't take you by surprise, and you're able to better deal with them. So that's, you know, how I think about these things. The marriage counseling that we did, was it enough? What did they tell us?
Please don't call that marriage counseling. Okay, I just want to do that, but let me just talk about marriage counseling for a minute. That's what we did in your church. Oh. Okay, so before we got married, because I wasn't going to church, sorry guys. I got married in Chibuze's church. I'm not very churchy.
That's not, you don't have to apologize anybody.
You know how? Anyway, let's not turn this into a religious conversation. But we got married in Chibuze. Chibuze is very churchy as well.
I used to be.
You used to be, but
Until
he departed from the Lord. So he didn't depart from the Lord. He departed from church. Two different things. Same with me as well. He departed from the Lord, departed from church. So Chibuze talks about Chibuze's church were like, oh, come and do marriage counseling, you know, before we marry you. It was compulsory. So at that day, I was very excited. I took book and Bible to the marriage counseling office, and we sat with I don't know what the guy was called, one of the pastors in his church. And the guy was talking absolute rubbish. The thing that he said that really stayed with me was that you need to do anything your husband says he wants.
That's right.
He says, even if he wants to have sex, no matter how tired you are, your job is to spread your legs. I took the Bible and paper and said, okay, wisdom, marriage wisdom, let me go and learn. Immediately he said that, I was like, I just put my pencil down, my Bible down, close my book on the table, close my leg and folded my arm. I was like, okay, so this is going to be a waste of time there. And then he said so many things that were infuriating. Oh, everything, your husband comes first. So women of these days,
that's right.
Especially because then I was doing the head of marketing role at a multinational organization, and then he was like, all these women with big careers, people are so arrogant. They're always like this. You don't need to come down for your husband. I'm like,
that's right.
You don't know me.
That's right.
You don't know me. And he was just going off on a tangent. That's what kind of nonsense marriage counseling. He said because if my wife now, if I want to have sex with her, she'll be complaining. She's too tired. You cannot be tired. I said, oh, that's what he now registered that. He's taking his own nonsense marital frustrations out for this young couple that is counseling. She was and I were just looking at each other like, what's going on here? That marriage counseling there was a waste of my life. Because that man, whoever you are, you're a very stupid man.
You are a man of God.
I didn't have said, I would have followed your stupid advice. Only God knows where this marriage would have ended up. Oh my God.
No, we did that then.
No, what did we do at the end?
You know, you walked in, you said that. I was coming from.
Yeah.
And this is not sustainable. Because when I had to come in like twice a week for work.
Yeah. It was going 3 times a week was when they were asking us to come.
So after work, I'll leave there. I'll cross Ikoyi traffic, third mainland traffic, and come church by a particular time.
Yeah, for stupid content.
Family problem projection. We're not discussing. I now said, let's go and get this man on council. What do we need to do to make sure to not come? And I the guy said, see, how far? This is not working. That we can't come. The guy was even happy. He said that we should do something.
I remember he tried a man of God. So he could wave our money and said, yeah.
The guy took the money, waved the thing, and the shop guy revoked our it. Everything they revoke our marriage license, we're still cohabiting, we're still married.
They have to revoke our marriage license now. That's a legal document. Church has no
but you know, if they say that we're supposed to do the counseling, and that was a requirement to marriage,
it's not illegal.
it's It's been a decade.
I know.
Once we work it.
I know.
So you said you want to talk about the
Back to what you said about
training.
yeah, parents. I don't think our parents could have told us this is what you expect in parents. And I think there are many parenting books out there, right? But at the end of the day, every child is different. The way you parent NATO, for example, is not the way you parent Cam. At the core, we're teaching them the same values. But if you need to get something out of NATO, just like speak in a stern voice, NATO will apologize and get that together. But try the same thing with Candy. Candy will show you that Candy give you bass both and second son. Very stubborn fellow. Like, yeah, fine. It takes after me. Candy doesn't give an inch, man. He's like, no, I don't care. And Candy is a little tantrum baby. But NATO is very amenable. He doesn't want you to be like, oh, I don't want you to be angry with me. I'm sorry. He will apologize. He's like you that he will come from color.
Looks like you believes that.
Yeah, he's like you in that sense. Kind of like if you like be angry, me I'll be 10 times angry. I'll be here for you. I start giving back. That's the difference between them. So you don't use the same style to parent both of them. We evolve. We don't just give him a stern voice worry. You can't be beg, oh please can be please. So you have to reason the camp.
Yeah.
And then before he can get on board. So there are those sort of like different dynamics to them. So there is no sort of, for me, strict manual. Because every child is different. You understand your child reflects your style. I don't know what my mother could have told me about parenting, honestly, that would have been useful. Because her parenting style as well was very different. Like she was the one that was always shouting, quick to slap, quick to like we don't hit our kids, and it was a deliberate decision that we made. And no shade on people that feel like I was my like you've talked about how your father used to beat you, your brother used to beat you. I was beaten as a child as well. It's just not something that I feel is an effective form of parents discipline. I feel like there are so many ways you can discipline a child. The hitting is not necessary. There are many varied punishments that will pain them more than just hitting them or slapping them. So we don't do that. At the end of the day, you I mean you might have a child that you just have to give that child beating. Like I don't know. But for us, it's a different dynamic. So there is no manual that says, oh, this is how you must parent. And the other thing is, when it comes to raising kids in the UK especially, if you're not a team, like if you're with a partner and you guys are not a team and you're not locked in, it cannot work, man. So if people are coming here and they're thinking about, oh, how am I going to cheat on my husband or cheat on my wife, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and live my freaking life, it's just not going to work. You really have to be locked in. You have to be locked in as two people that have the same vision for your life. And that's why I think a lot of marriages is that number one, there are no shared values between the husband and wife. Number two, they don't have the same vision. So somebody is going this way, the other one is going this way. And I'm not a marriage counselor, but that's just something I've noticed. I'm like, if people don't have shared values and shared vision, I don't know how you're going to steer the boats in the same direction.
But when you talk about shared values, I don't think that there was a conscious discussion between us on this. I remember I had a discussion like this.
On shared values. Mm-hmm. We just had to, because before we agreed to marry each other, we realized that we had shared values. Mm-hmm. Right? We haven't had to sit down and say, for context, we dated for what, 2.5 years. You were definitely observing me, right? Yeah. And I was observing you as well. You were observing the way that I react to things. I was observing the way that you react to things. At the end of the day, The sense that is he a good person, is he a good partner? Does he value himself? Does he value others? Does he treat people with respect? The fact that even simple things like you're out to dinner and you're nice to the server and you tip well. Those for me are like, okay, good person, considerate.
So just talking about this, people coming to the West and changing. I remember a story which is very familiar.
Where you go, man? You're enjoying.
Yes,
So I just want to check.
Sorry, I don't have to think about it. I was caught up in the story.
Okay.
Maybe you know that I like spaghetti. Spaghetti is like one of my top 5 foods, and this sauce is fantastic.
I just said I should check because I'm enjoying my food. I was like, maybe I'm the only one. You should actually try the salad as well.
Now I'm not carrying one everyone, but I'll try it.
But really good. Like
the next thing I'm going to target is this year and corn. And this is your world famous ribs.
Yeah, those ribs are good.
You're going to fill yourself up and you have space for it.
No, I'm not going to eat it. Like, I'm actually already full.
Are you serious? So don't really today.
You are saying sorry.
So I was saying that this story is one that's familiar to everyone in my family. Is that like my nuclear family? My family, like my parents and siblings.
Okay.
Because this is my nuclear family now.
Yes.
So what are they now?
I don't know. They are your family.
Okay. So to my parents and siblings, we had an uncle on my father's side who was a taxi driver in New York City. And this is before Google Maps and stuff. So you know that it was a really tough job. This guy travels to the US, has been working as a taxi driver for many years. I don't know if I would say that he did well, but he did well enough to buy a house and to pay off that house. Okay. So it was mortgage free. And then how
was that in Nigeria or in
the US?
In the US.
In the US. He bought a house in the US mortgage free.
Oh, then he did very well.
No, so he over the years he paid off. And so, in Nigeria, the referral system, you want to marry, you go and meet your trusted witness and say, I'm ready to marry now. Can you help me find somebody suitable? So this guy comes to my mom and tells my mom, see. And then my mom, and I imagine your mom has done the same thing too, now works her network to find an eligible dark cell for this gentleman to marry. Eventually find her. She comes to our house a few times. We know her, I can't remember her name, but she was really nice and sweet and kind to us, especially Dave, who is our youngest sibling. And eventually they leave and they go to America. We don't hear much from them afterwards. But in a year or two after that, we hear that the woman had left him and had taken his house. So, like in his divorce settlement, she got the house.
She got the house.
And I was pretty young then, but I never forgot it. Because for me, I think that was the first thing because when I hear about divorces now, it gets to me. I get to hear about divorce. Even if I don't know people, it really, really gets to me. I think that was the foundation of my aversion to divorces.
Yeah, I remember when we first got married, and I used to joke about divorce. You remember? Like, I'm like, if you're married now, divorce you, like, literally just joking, like, nothing serious. And then one day, I would say it, but I didn't pick up on how much he annoyed you. And then I was like, hey, you're married now. One day I just said that you were like, never say that again. Like, don't fuck around with divorce. Don't throw that word around. Unless you're ready to divorce me, don't ever play with take it. I'm like, okay. It was a joke.
I remember while in our bedroom.
Yeah. And I was really joking. So I was really thrown back and I was like, okay, I feel like I don't play divorce. It's not funny unless you are. Next time you mention divorce to me, you should be ready to divorce me. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. That was just a joke, man. So after that day, No matter the fact of my doing, I just like I'm not. I don't say that word around it because I know that for some reason you're just like I don't play with that word unless you're very serious. Don't talk about what I'm like. Okay, I'm sorry.
But I think that he came to visit us after he left work. When I saw he looked broken. I think that I was still really young. I saw what that did to him. And that's, I think for me, was the beginning of my attention to divorce. I just hate to hear about divorces. So even now, when I see on the news that divorce, it gets to me. Even if I don't meet people, I don't know. I think that was foundational.
Yeah, I guess for me, it depends on the content. Divorce doesn't get to me as much. I feel like if the marriage was fundamentally broken, like people divorce for stupid reasons, right?
Very stupid.
Yeah, like
Sorry, I need to ask you something about food. Sorry. I want to ask you about this rice. What goes with the rice? Nothing. So I can explain like that.
You can even play like you're eating jollof rice. Yeah, I put a little bit of the meat sauce on the side, but you don't have to.
Okay. So I know I stopped you. So that's just the question. But yeah, this guys.
Okay, so I'm basically saying that divorce doesn't. I don't always feel sad when I hear about divorce. It depends on the context. Sometimes I'm quite happy for the couple that they've been able to break away. Doesn't give them an opportunity to start over. It does make me sad when there are little kids involved. And there's something on my face. Okay. It does make me sad when there are little kids involved. That's the one that saddens me because it's like it's tough for the children. But if it's just a couple that's together and they decide they don't want to be together anymore, it's fine. And in some cases, it's even better for the kids if they are kids, if the couples split. Because especially when there's abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, any form of abuse, and spiritual, I don't know what spiritual abuse is. But any form of abuse, I'm like, girl, you got to get the step.
Why is it girl? Why not guy?
Because I'm like, no offense to your gender, but most times that'd be crazy, right?
Exactly. I strongly disagree.
The strongly disagree.
I think that's
what out of 10 divorces,
it's
maybe like 7 or 8 is usually the guy's fault.
I don't agree at all.
Okay. Well, how many divorces?
That's a good question.
Exactly. Do you know personally? Because I know a few. And you know I know a few that I'm close to. And they are not even, like, if I count on both hands, like the divorced people that I know, that I'm close to, that I knew the couple, it's the man's fault. There's no
I know one of them, and
there's no single scenario.
That girl is fucking idiots.
Exactly. There's no single scenario. I don't remember what you're talking about. There's no single scenario. Why that?
It's funny how you can communicate.
Exactly. There's no single scenario where it has been the woman's fault. I'm sorry. Like every time I'm like, what's wrong with this man?
I know she can do information for that story. Not the names.
What's that?
The person I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's a very fucked up story. And if we can get permission to tell that story,
I'll ask for permission. She hasn't given me permission.
I know wild beast.
Yeah.
An animal.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't agree that?
I don't agree. And
I think it's always the man's fault. Well, maybe not always, but most times.
No, I don't think it's most times. I think it's 50-50. So fine, we hear about
based on our sample size.
We hear about these divorces, and most times whenever they come to the press, it's usually painted as a man's fault. But then again, that's the danger of the one-sided story. The woman comes to the media or causes the story to come to the media and paints herself as being the victim. But we never hear the man's side.
It's not true. It's not recently that one OMP guy came to one podcast I was crying like I was a victim. Until the wife now released screenshots that showed that it wasn't actually all her fault.
I didn't really follow that story. I didn't go watch
Okay.
that podcast.
I didn't watch the podcast as well, but
I saw some clips.
I saw clips, yeah.
And I found it strange, to be honest. Like, what are you looking to achieve by coming on the podcast?
Well, you have the right to tell your story, that's fine, but it's just that it wasn't all true. That's the issue. And I get you, there are two sides to every story. But the first thing I'm referring to, at least I know both sides, and I'm telling you, I was an answer.
The only one I know is to watch that.
Always the man's fault.
It's not always the man's fault. I will never agree to that.
Okay, fine. Fine, don't agree, but support your gender, but I'm just saying that a lot of the time women will do what they can to make their marriages work. Men don't have that.
Men too.
No, don't use yourself as a yardstick. Most men are not like you. Or most men are like they'll be doing like it's by force that they force them to marry. Okay, if you don't want to marry, you should not marry. Nobody forced you.
I'm not using myself as a yardstick. I'm just saying that I don't think there's a biological configuration that causes one gender to be more.
No, it's a social construct. You know what they say, like, right? It's a man's world. There are various versions of marriage, but the typical version of marriage is very patriarchal. You cater to the man, the woman loses herself, she becomes the shadow of herself, it becomes all about the man. The man's career progresses, the man's own recedes all sorts of things. It's just so male driven. And in scenarios where, especially in today's world, where the woman starts standing up for herself, she starts advocating for herself, advocating for her dreams, advocating for her voice, it becomes a problem. And men that have big ass egos, the ego has no place in marriage. But exactly, men that have big ass egos, they don't know how to deal. And they now start having tantrums and become unbearable. I've seen this cycle so many times, I kid you not. That's why I say the man's fault. Meanwhile, the woman will be bending over backwards to please this man. Then one day, something will just happen to her brain. She's like, I don't need this shit. And she will just walk away. And then the man will not believe it. It's literally rinse and repeat. I've seen this happen so many times. I'm not kidding. That's why I'm saying it's the man's fault. Because men don't know how to evolve. They don't know how to unlearn the bad behaviors of their partners.
This chicken is excellently ready.
Thank you. And it's also excellently grilled. Teamwork makes the dream work. Alright, so we're going to take a break, guys, and we're going to come back and we have more Brunch and Banter stories. So please watch out for part 2. We're just going to step down and we'll be back.